Terminator Dark Fate bombed at the box office. Gee, I wonder why. What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to talk about Terminator Dark Fate. Now, you probably know I am a huge Terminator fan. I love the movies 1 and 2, and it stopped there. So that's my canon, and no one can change my mind, regardless of what James Cameron has to say. It was very sad to get out of the theater and, and watch that. I would call it an abomination, because a movie really destroys T1 and T2 if you take into consideration. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about why it bombed. Obviously, we know that it's very woke. The movie is very woke. And there is no escape wokeness in Hollywood right now. There is definitely an agenda that is in every single film. But I believe that if that is not really sacrificing the story, you can even find the movie pretty enjoyable. The problem is when the wokeness is really, like, the focus is so much on that the story doesn't even matter anymore. And that's exactly what they did with this film. They already give the fans of the franchise a big middle finger and a slap on the face. And even the director said with these exact words, you get a slap in the face, with John Connor, spoiler, being killed at the very beginning of the film. So basically what they did, they make you care about this character and think that he's important, and then you're invested on this character, and now guess what, because he's a man, he cannot be the leader anymore. So we're just gonna kill him off in the worst possible way we can. We're not gonna give him a line, and not only that, we're gonna have his mother regret motherhood, because that is not something that you should be proud of, because that's another thing they did to Sarah Connor that kind of pissed me off. There is a line in the movie where she talks about, oh, the womb, it's not you that important, Danny, it's your womb, because she assumes Danny is gonna give birth to the man that is gonna save the world, like she did. And I was like, this is just so out of character for Sarah Connor. She was not badass because of motherhood. No, she was a badass because she fought and killed a Terminator, and no, they shame the fact that she's a mother, because, oh my God, how dare a woman dream of having a kid, because that's not female empowerment. So my problem with this film is I have a lot of feelings about it, and I would like to thank every single one of you that gave a lot of support to my review, because that is my pure and honest feelings after I left the theater, because I really hate agendas. This is a movie that was, we're praising the female empowerment, women are gonna rule, and blah blah blah, but this movie is nothing but tokenism. It is not empowering to females. Stealing the story of a guy and giving to a girl, it is not empowering. It is not enough. And that just shows that whoever wrote this film, which I'm gonna look up over here, doesn't have a clue of what female empowerment even means. Sarah was female empowerment up to the point you destroyed her. And that's why this movie bombed, because people are tired of this, wokeness that has, invaded films. Because, like I said, it is now the focus of the storyline. Is not even, so the story, who cares about the story or the characters, is about a certain message that we need to show everybody. And people are just tired of this. That's not why you go to the movies, to watch entertainment, to watch TV shows. And, this movie failing, it's actually good, because at least by having Paramount losing so much money, maybe it might teach them a lesson, or maybe not. It seems like how many more failures do they need to figure out that that's not what people want? And and you know what? People could say, oh, it's because of the female leads. It's not because of the female leads. It's because of the story and the way that the story is shaped and formed, just to make sure that all the male are evil people and all the females are all the good guys that are all strong. That, even though you're physically, you can say that someone, it's not that strong and can kind of beat a big guy. Like, that's not reality. I'm sorry, it's just not reality. And I'm deeply disappointed with this film. I'm deeply disappointed that James Cameron himself was the guy, spoiler alert, that decided to kill John Connor, because first they make you care about this character, right? So T1 and T2 is all about this guy. John Connor was the heart of Terminator 2. That movie is not only action-packed, it's not a movie you turn your brain off because it's very compelling, the action scenes are great, but also it's very heartfelt. You know, the way, the interaction of John Connor with the Terminator, that felt like a real film. You know, the rawness of Sarah Connor and her despair at the very, you know, when she's at the, you know, that scene where she's screaming that everyone is gonna die. There's just so, not only that, the visual effects, it was the greatest action film ever made. And then they make you care about this character. And on this new movie, guess what? We're just gonna slap you in the face and give the middle finger to all the fans because John Connor doesn't matter. Guess what? We're just gonna give his story to Danny Ramos, and just because we want to be, you know, receive pats in the back to show how woke we are. Oh my God, we're so woke. You are not caring about female empowerment. You don't even understand female stories because, you know, first and foremost, if you're so worried about how, you know, to make a movie that is female empowerment is all about female leaders, you should have added female writers in your chair. But as I see over here, all we have is a bunch of guys, right? We have a story by James Cameron. Shame on you, James Cameron, for destroying your own franchise by, you know, even though he wasn't apparently not involved. Apparently the idea of killing John Connor came from him, which is very, very disappointing. And then you have Charles, Josh, whatever, David Goyer, Justin Rhodes, Bill Ray. How many writers involved over here? And no female over here. I mean, these are coming from the woke people that really care about female. You know, no female writers here. This is my problem with this film. This is fake empowerment. This is fake progressivism. This is just a facade to you know, to go with the trend of Hollywood. They don't care about female. They don't care about any of this. They only want to show to you how woke they are. You know, this really irritates me. You should not sacrifice beloved characters for a certain narrative. That's not why people go to the movies. That is not what the fans want to see. Aren't you making this movie for the fans? You keep pandering to people that do not even watch movies or even support your brand. You know, I'm the one person that I wanted to spend money on this. I wanted to go watch this several times, but I can't. This movie to me doesn't exist. This movie is absolute. It's very sad because the movie had the perfect package to work by bringing Linda Hamilton, by bringing Arnie. And I said, and I stand by my review, they were great. They have great chemistry. You know, they were, you know, I loved seeing them together. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he was a very weird T-800, you know, he was very funny, but that's not what I wanted to see when I go see a Terminator film. You know, it's fine that he was fine. I think he was great in the film. I have nothing against the cast, the crew, of whoever, all the people that worked hard in this film. And it's sad for them that the movie bombed, but the truth behind it all is that this falls on the hands of the creators, James Cameron, Tim Miller that was attacking the fans before the movie was even out, saying stuff such as, because this is what another thing that Hollywood does, okay? So the excuse for them is that when they know they don't have a very good product, they know that people are not gonna take it very well, they already go out in the media and spread the words. And that's what Tim Miller said. Terminator Dark Fate will scare the F out of misogynistic internet trolls. So he is already saying that, oh, if you don't like this movie, you have a problem with females. It's the same story of Star Wars all over again. And trust me, there are plenty of TV shows, there are plenty of movies that were female-led that people did not have a problem with. The problem is not the female-led, the problem is the story. The problem is that this was about John Connor. He was supposed to be the hero, and now because he's a male, he has to be killed in the worst possible way you can, because the women we were so woke. Look at us, patos in the back, we're so woke, we really care about female. Yeah, I can see how you care about female. Sarah Connor had a miserable life. She's shamed now because she was a mom, because it was all about her womb, right? It's not the fact that she killed a Terminator, you know, the fact that, you know, she's a badass and she, because of her, John Connor becomes in the future who he becomes because she trains him. I mean, forget about her progression, you know, for being someone that was so naive into the badass, because it's nothing about there now. We have to shame her because of, oh, how dare you woman think about motherhood. Like, what kind of society is this, you know? It's just so messed up. And not only that, right? Again, and I said and I repeat it again, the fact that they stole the story of John Connor to give it to Dani Ramos should not be something that people should, females should be happy about, because I was just like, this is just absurd. Like, that's not what that's not empowering at all. This is tokenism. This is fake progressivism. This is not leading anywhere. It is Ghostbusters 2016 and Star Wars all over again. It's about the story. It's about the care that you have with this character. So what they did here is the same thing they did to Aliens, you know, where they kill characters that people are invested in. For what reason? And guess what? I remember that James Cameron himself was the one that also kind of, criticized that. And then he does the same thing with his own franchise. Go figure. So yes, the movie bombed, and I'm glad that it bombed, because perhaps it will make the studios wake up and just think about story first and forget about the stupid politics. That's not what people are going to watch entertainment for. And even if you want to have your wokeness there, but the story makes sense, you're not sacrificing the story for that. I mean, I've seen woke films that I wasn't even that bothered because it wasn't sacrificing the story. It's all how you put it into the story, but not even that they're not capable enough to do. This is basically a soft reboot. That's what they wanted to do. They want to recreate the franchise and bring it forward, but like I said, they went the wrong way about it. Like, to piss off the fans to begin with, like statements calling people misogynists, like the majority of your fan base. I mean, what kind of marketing is this? I mean, I don't understand, and I feel very sad for Linda Hamilton, because I liked her a lot. I think, it was definitely a wasted opportunity to bring her back and make her miserable for her entire life in the film. She apparently she's a drunk, right? And she's been mourning her son. Wow, how empowering is that? I should be very proud. That was my hero. Sarah Connor drinks herself until she passes out, which is physically impossible if she really does that all the time at her age. And then we have a Terminator that grew a conscience and have a family. I mean, they went a little overboard, completely ignoring the heart of Terminator 2, that very emotional story, killing the boy, shaming Sarah Connor because she was a mom. But that said, like I said on my review, I believe that people that are not die-hard fans, I believe that people that, they just want to turn their brains off, they're going to like this film. The Rotten Tomatoes score is not even that bad, because the action is pretty entertaining. But like, if you really take the story, as a Terminator fan, I cannot like this film. Regardless of how good the action is, how entertaining it is, how funny it is, Arnold it's funny, it still doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things missing in this film, and it's heart. It is heart and care for the characters. And I believe it started with James Cameron, because James Cameron is the one person that now has control over this film, and he doesn't really seem to care because he's too busy with Avatar. So anyways, I do feel sad for the actors and the crew that worked hard on this film, because I am in filmmaking as well. I know how hard it is to get movies done, but it's very sad that Hollywood just doesn't seem to learn. They keep on this stupid politics, these movies that, sacrificing beloved characters, creating narratives that people are not interested in. Like I said, if you really wanted to create an empowering character, there is no need for you to steal the guy's story. That's not what audiences wanted to see, okay? I don't want to hate, like, you're trying to make people hate John Connor or just disregard him after you made us care for him. I mean, how does that make any sense? And the fact that, like, shaming Sarah Connor now because, she seems like, I was nothing, I was just a womb. Like, this is a terrible message, okay? I'm sorry, you guys are messed up. Hollywood is messed up, and it just makes me very sad, makes me pissed off as well that this is called female empowerment, and it's make me even more pissed off when females don't even understand that this is nothing but tokenism, when they think, we just have females in the leads, but they're not even caring to tell a convincing story. This is like giving us crumbs, okay? That is not like Sarah Connor was enough. and she was very awesome until you destroyed her. A lot of people sometimes get mad because I didn't like the film or we don't share the same opinion. This is not an attack on people that watched the film. I don't care if you watched it and if you liked it. It's your opinion. Keep it to yourself. It's fine, you know, or share it here in the comments. That's fine, but just be respectful. I'm not attacking anyone that liked the film, or I'm not attacking the cast either. I love Arnie. He's one of my favorite heroes. I love Linda Hamilton. I thought she was great. Mackenzie was also great, in my opinion. I thought that she was way better than I expected. I did think that Danny Ramos was a little bit weak as supposedly the leader. Also, I did enjoy Gabriel's performance as well. I thought he was a pretty decent Terminator. But this is not an attack on any of them. It's mostly the story that I won't understand ever, and I won't accept. This movie does not belong in my canon. I'm not gonna watch it ever again. I don't even want to hear about it. Go away. And perhaps this time the Terminator franchise is indeed terminated, and it's sad to say that, but as long as they don't really understand how to tell stories, might as well just not do it. Might as well just stop ruining big franchises, because to be quite honest, it would be way more interesting to see a future war, for instance. Let's say something happens, Skynet actually happened, and John Connor is leading the resistance in the future. That would have been a way more interesting film, which is kind of what Salvation tried to do, but it wasn't too successful. But I don't know. It seems like they have no more ideas left. So if they don't have ideas left, leave it alone until someone that is really very creative can do something better with this, because as of now the Terminator franchise is indeed Terminator. Anyways guys, drop your comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about Terminator bombing. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.